Good evening, good morning, Julio Vegas. How's it? How's it hanging,
Everything's good, man. Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
mate? Been excited to kind of get you on the show and have a bit of a yarn about the good old days and what you're up to now. So really excited. Yeah, let's get started. Where
That's
are you
awesome.
from, Julio? I know where you're from, but some of the audience may
Yeah,
not. Where did it all begin?
sure. Let me tell you a little kind of background myself, and
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
way you get to know me, and the people get to know me a little bit more. So I'm from Venezuela.
Yep.
I grew up in a kind of small town, kind of east of Venezuela. In Venezuela, I guess we didn't play that much golf. Kind of the main sport back then was baseball, and so we didn't work. The culture of golf wasn't that big back at home. But my dad, he loved the game so much that he was playing, every day. And first was my mom. She got introduced to the game and she loved it. She started playing with him, and then was my older brother, and then Jhonattan, and then
Yep.
me. So kind of looking back, I mean, I didn't have that many options. Just because my mom played, my dad played, older brother,
Runs in the
second
family.
brother
Yeah.
played. So I was, yeah, right. So it's like, okay. And so I guess we're playing golf, but I was lucky enough that we play. I mean, we are four boys, four brothers. So we played, hang out together. We're a pretty close family. So we were doing a bunch of activities together, which I think to me, kind of looking back, it was unreal. It was really good, really special. And nowadays we still pretty close. So that's how we started the game. And I started playing kind of junior golf in Venezuela. And then I started playing, traveling around South America. And then when I was 17 years old, that's when I decided to do to go to the next level. We would be kind of amateur golf.
Yeah, yeah, because we won't skip to the Latino bit. Like I'm thinking,
Yeah.
there's just not that many courses in Latino America. Especially like how many courses were in the country? There's like a handful of courses. Seriously.
Yeah, there's not many. Like I said before, I mean, the golf, it was seemed like an elite sport, so you didn't see that many people playing, and it had like kind of a bad kind of thing next to kind of golf,
Yep.
which hopefully we have changed through the years. And but yeah, so we had in my hometown we had like six different courses, something like that.
Yeah.
Probably like 20 in the whole country. So it was pretty small. So the community was small, but the good thing, and we hang out together. We knew everybody around the golf community, which was kind of cool too.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So at 17, you were saying you kind of got to a level and you were thinking, all right, time to make the jump. Where am I going from here? And when did you make the decision to move to the US and pursue a college career?
Yeah, it was interesting, Brady, just because my brother, he was at the United States at the time, and he went to Austin to hook 'em horns. Yes.
Hook 'em horns, baby.
Uh, and he was going to school at UT, and every time that he came back to Venezuela, I saw the cool bag and the cool clothes and everything. I was kind of around that time I was playing. I was trying to, okay, but I kind of was like, maybe that's one of the things I could do. Just kind of go to the next step, and playing, kind of go to school at the same time and play golf, and kind of look at him kind of doing his own thing, and kind of follow kind of his footsteps. And I decided, just because again I had some little success in junior golf back in Venezuela, so I decided, well, probably that would be kind of the next step to move up in that environment, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
so when I got here, it was really funny, just because I didn't know any English. Again, a small community golf, not that many people played. When I got here, it was kind of open minded for sure about the whole game.
Yeah, your English is perfect now. Jeez, it's actually probably
Well, it's never gonna get perfect. Never.
well. I think they understood you more than me when I was over there. But yeah, I think that's the Australian thing.
That's part of the whole thing.
Part of the whole thing. But yeah, you definitely your brother Johnny Vegas having an idol to look up to with UT and stuff. That's definitely sent you down that path. And 18, moved to the States, didn't know much English, and 4 years. What'd you study at UT? And you had obviously know what happened at the NCAA tournament, but we'll start with what you studied and bit of your college career.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was such a cool experience. Again, coming from Venezuela, which UT have like 50,000 people, so it was a pretty big school. I think when I finished high school, it was like I don't know, 1,000 people, something like that, or
Yeah.
even less than that. And so it was such a cool experience being there. I remember kind of being pretty tough the first year because I didn't know where to go. The whole campus was so big. I was like, I was going to get into classes and work out late. But kind of looking back again, Brett, looking back, it was such a cool experience, kind of being out there and lucky enough to have somebody like my brother kind of to show me around and kind of follow kind of his footsteps, which is, it seems to me, is a lot easier than being there like the first time and just trying to figure it out on your own. But I was lucky enough to have some people around me that helped me kind of through that process, which is it was pretty tough looking back, but at the same time it kind of helped me. Yeah, and it was cool. I mean, I had always having my brother kind of around. If I have any question, things like that, I can ask, and in that sense, I've been really fortunate for sure.
So Johnny was there for your first 2 years, is that correct? Your first couple of years?
First year.
Okay, so you
first year, and we lived together, which was kind of cool. And Dean and I and a couple of friends kind of living in a house and
living the dream.
And that college life, living
college
the dream. For sure.
Living the dream. Cool living the American dream, baby. Jeez.
But it was so cool. It was cool kind of looking back, and it's such a cool experience. And after that, I mean, I started kind of, I think it took me like a year to learn English and pass all the exams to get into school, which I didn't play golf for a whole year. So my game was pretty bad shape, but I redshirted my freshman year, Brady, which I didn't play any tournaments. So I kind of started working on my game, and I was coming to Houston to see Kevin. I was working with Kevin Kirk at the time, and kind of improved my game. And that first year I didn't play it, and my first year for play, which was my redshirt freshman, I played really bad. Okay, so I hadn't competed in a while. Just kind of training,
trying to figure it out.
So kind of trying to figure it out and trying to get my feet wet and everything. I didn't play, and we had a good team that year too. So I didn't play any tournaments again. But at the same time, I was kind of in that environment. I was kind of watching kind of people play and kind of hang out and things like that. That's kind of the way you learn.
Well, I mean, your team was stacked. Your team was stacked.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, kind of looking back, I mean, which was kind of cool thing, and just when you're around with good people, that's one way that you improve kind of the fastest. When you see, good shots all the time, and you're competing and training and things like that, which kind of allow me to improve in that short period of time, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You had God, we'll have to name drop a couple of people who were actually in your team for people that don't know who was at UT. I think Speith might have been there. Cody Gribble was there. Dylan Fritelli. So, I mean, a couple of good players.
Yeah, a couple of good ones. Okay players, for sure.
Okay players. So, when did you win the NCAA? Talk us through that week, which is it's like the mecca of the college system golf. Yeah, sure.
So my sophomore year, I get to play a little bit more, but again, I wasn't sharp enough, right? So I would say like 75 of the tournaments. I finished a couple top 10s here and there, but it wasn't that special. But it wasn't until my third year. That was Jordan Speith first year in school. So we had Cody Gribble, which he won the tour. Dylan Fratelli won the tour. Jordan Speith, I mean, major champion. And we got Alex Moon, which again, really good player from Texas.
Yeah, really good player.
Toni Hakula from Finland, again, great player.
Yeah.
So again, in that type of environment, that you have to train and kind of push yourself, and kind of train that limit of failure or success. And that year has such a cool year. And so we won. I think we won like, I don't remember, like 10 times out of 13 that year.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive
as a team. And And I remember I remember a few things kind of looking back to that year. It was fun. It's winning. Oh, winning is always fun. Yeah. I won my first event, which I tied with Dylan Fritelli and Jordan, and Coach Fields, which is the coach at the time. He didn't let us play a playoff. So everybody, Dylan, Speith, and I were pissed, right? So I mean, we want to compete, and that was one event, right? And but we won that year. I mean, we three won that year. And then the final tournament of the year was the national championship. I mean, we bring it up. We were the number one ranked team in the country at that time, and we made it to match play, which was after 3 rounds. And then we played. I think the first round we played against Washington, and then we play against Oregon, and Alabama.
So you guys got Alabama in the final, yeah. I remember watching
the final, and Dylan Fratelli, he made like a 20-footer to win the Hawk Cup, and it was unreal. And one of the traditions at UT, like if you win a national championship or a conference or regionals, we got a tower, and we light it up, orange, number 1 on it, and it was such a cool experience, man. It doesn't get better than that.
Mate, you're in the history books forever. They can't take that away from you. Jeez.
That's right. I
remember you telling me. I think actually you remember telling me in the semi-final, you were like 2-2, and it came down to your match against Oregon. I think that's correct. And I think you birdied the last 3 or something. I remember watching a bit of a video, and you was fired up Vegas. He was loving it, but yeah,
it was a good time, man.
Yeah, good times. I think Speith smashed JT playing number 1 or something. He never beat him in college or something like that. But, the good old days, right?
It was cool. It was, kind of looking back, it was such a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, perfect. So, finished college, and you were just like, perfect. I'm going to turn professional. I'm going to give this tour life a crack. We obviously crossed paths in the US at the Woodlands, Kevin Kirk, the whole Golf Australia thing. We all kind of, in the Woodlands bubble, and we were all mates, and then we started traveling to Latino America together for a couple years, 3, 4, 5. Felt like 5. Felt like 10 years. It was such a good time.
Good time. Yeah, such a great time for sure.
Such a greid time. How'd you find that experience? It's funny to actually speak about that when you can reflect on all those things. But how was your first 3-4 years going down to Latino America? Home for you to play some golf on the tour down there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was such a cool experience, kind of looking back. I mean, just the fact that I spoke the language a little bit, and in South America.
You're fluent in.
I spoke the language.
Fluent in Spanish, all right? Jeez.
But at the same time, it was different because every country have their own kind of unique thing, as you know.
Yes.
Kind of their own country have their own unique things, and it was such a cool kind of experience, the whole thing. Yeah. But remember, I mean, it was so competitive back then. It was such a cool experience. I mean, you were playing with great players, and I think that's why those tours are designed to kind of advance or kind of find something else to do. So it was really competitive, but it was fun. I mean, we had it wasn't as big as the PA Tour that everybody's doing their own thing. We got some groups kind of traveling together and things like that, which was kind of make it really kind of fun and cool at the same time. And I remember kind of hanging out, playing golf. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Playing, that's as I mean, kind of looking back as you start playing golf, you wanna play professional, play at the highest level, and then when you're there, I mean, like that's the dream right there, kind of compete and play against the best players in the world.
Yeah, looking back on it, you think like the guys that you'd finish, like if you finished 10th, 20th, and you look at all the names from like 2016, it was like most of them have won on the PGA Tour now. It's crazy. Like I was thinking it was like Martin Trainer. Yeah. Who was it? Martin. There's just so many different people. And I'm like, they played on Latino. They lost their card. Like Lanto Griffin was playing the major this week. Nate Lashley, I think he might have lost his card his first year.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, you kind of there or thereabouts. So many good players. I always think about like, what's the gap? What do you think they how they got from that position to PGA Tour. Is it the gap this big, or is it that big, or?
That's a great question to be. I haven't thought about that. I always think about like any tour that you go nowadays, any tour that you go, you have to play a really good game.
You've got to play good regardless.
You cannot fake it.
No.
Regardless, anywhere you go, Asia, Australia, Europe, USA, anything where any part in the world where you go, you have to play really good. Because you're playing again. You got really good players, and something has to do with information out there that is more accurate. So and everybody's getting better, quicker. They're stronger, better shape. So people have passion. So it seems to me that the difference is not much. It comes more about that the will to succeed and play good golf. And to me that's more the difference that you see at the highest level, and the people who make it there and the people who don't. It's more about the willpower to keep training, to keep pushing, to keep improving.
Yeah.
To me, that's the difference. The people who understand that part, that's the one that make them. But ability-wise, I don't think it's not much, though, to answer your question.
Yeah, like talent-wise, you look at it and you kind of go, well, he hits it that far. I hit it about the same. He putts this well. He handles the pressure a bit better. He played well and kind of got a lucky week and then got onto the tour, and then he kind of got comfortable there. So, yeah, there is a element of luck, but yeah, you definitely have to play well. There's no faking that or anything like that.
Not sure.
No faking.
It was.
It was a good time though. It's a good time. I look back on it. It's just like it was really.
No, remember, kind of looking back to those places. What was your favorite place in South America that you went to?
It's funny. I always talk to Maka about this. I used to love going to Antigua, but I used to really dislike the golf course because I never played well there. I just never played. I think I enjoyed going to the city and having a good time, but yeah, that in Argentina, going down there. Yeah, the course was just too hard. It was like 5 holes that went up towards the volcano, then it was like 10 holes all the way down the bottom of the hill, and you had to take. I don't know. I was just exhausted. Well, I wasn't really that exhausted. I generally only played 36 holes, but there was a kind of a thunderstorm in between.
Did you play that year that the course was the term was canceled because of the wind? Did you play that year? Yeah, I did. So in La Reunión. Yeah, so I was 12 over after 2 rounds. I got my 36 holes in, and I think Christian had 10 under in the morning the first day. Yes. And they counted it because they couldn't keep a ball on any green because the greens were too quick and it was windy. Because it's on like a hill like this. Yeah, I think I played like 6 holes or something like that. I remember I didn't finish a round. It was crazy. It's cool. I remember that time. I mean, cool place though. I remember when the food though. The food was fantastic. Jose Toledo always looked after us in that little. I had a great. Not kidding. Always had a great week. So I always loved going there. I was thinking maybe this is the year I play well here, and it never happened. But it never translated. Never translated. But yeah, I think it was always the week before Honduras where I actually did play well. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just a week out. But funny times. We could talk about Latino for days, really. Yeah. But so 4 or 5 years on tour. Now you Coach Vegas. I've been calling you Coach Vegas for years, but you're actually Coach Vegas. It's fantastic. Actually, I'm coaching now, which makes sense, right? So you knew something that I didn't know. I've actually got your number saved in my phone as Coach Vegas. It's just I just call you Coach. It's really funny. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. Oh mate, you're just an authority. Definitely, I've seen a few videos. You're great for the kids. You're that. How's your coaching role going? You're really enjoying, No, it have been great. I've been lucky enough that I've been around some great people. Which again, my first year they taught me to play golf, and now kind of at the end of my career was working with Kevin Kirk, which again he was the 2019 PGA Instructor of the Year. So kind of hanging out with people like that and learning from that, and just kind of being exposed to that type of the player that he hang out with and learning from that have been unreal. I've been kind of improving my teaching skill, and it have been phenomenal. So having a great time. Plus, I'm staying at home, making eating kind of home cooked meals and sleeping in my own bed, and which to me that's awesome.
It's
awesome.
different coming from like when you travel week to week. You think, what do you mean? I can structure my whole week. I can eat 3 meals a day. I can sit down, take it easy.
Yeah, sit down, take it easy, and but it has been great. I mean, again, I've been lucky enough to be around with great people and trying to learn as much as I can, and you're gonna learn enough. Always trying to improve myself. And it has been phenomenal. I've been here at the Woodlands Country Club, which this place, which is a great place to play golf and hang out, and it's such a cool place.
Yeah, it's like the Woodlands Sandbelt, as I used to think of it as. It's kind of all the courses all in a one spot.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like that in Melbourne, Victoria.
Yeah, Melbourne again got so many great courses in the same area, and you can spend weeks playing golf, and you're not gonna get bored. For sure.
Well, yeah, you guys have got all the weather in the world and all the courses to play right now. I'm just trying to get outside with this whole COVID thing. But anyway, we're not talking about COVID. We're just gonna keep going down.
Okay.
We're gonna keep going down the golf way, I reckon. But so one question I wanted to ask you. So why are the golfers so good in the US? Is it more they hit it further than everyone? Are they better scorers, better putters? What's the biggest thing you've noticed over the years being there?
Yeah, that's such a cool question, man. That's awesome. I was doing some work with Kevin in South America, and one of the instructors out there asked me, "Hey, what's happening? Why our kids are not improving when they go to the US?" So because in South America, again, you played kind of the same thing that happened to me. You played junior golf out there, and then by the time you're 17, 18, you go to school out there, and then you come to college and everything, right? And one of the questions like why they're not getting better out there. So something's happening that they're not improving. And so we're kind of start doing some research and everything, and you find some people that they have money and play really good golf. You got some people that don't have that many resources and play good golf. They grew up in different type of environment. They play good. You got, in South America, you got like 7 guys playing the PGA Tour, something like that. So it's possible. To me, the play doesn't matter much. And they were saying like maybe the courses, okay, maybe the course is in better shape. Well, you got some people in some part of the world that they don't have the best course and they still play good. So it seems to me it's not that. The trainers, I mean, you got some pretty good juniors. Well, from my experience in South America, which I'm from, you got some pretty good coaches out there. Mm-hmm. And you see pretty good players kind of in the world rankings from South America. I'm pretty sure kind of the same thing in different part of the world. You got some pretty good juniors, right? But it is something that is happening for those players that don't make it. What it seems to me is the type of people that hang out with in which is happening in the U.S. In the U.S. is you got Tiger, you got Rory, you got Justin Thomas, you got Speed, you got this kind of culture, right? That they have to be really, really, really good. And when you get in that mix and that mentality, and your expectations are so high, and you start training and you start practicing because you want to go at the highest level. And to me, that's how you kind of improve. Anything you do, I mean, if you push yourself to the limits, you're like, oh, let's see if I can make 3 birdies. Well, you know what? I heard Tiger that he makes 6 birdies. Well, let's see if I can do 6. And then you push yourself and you keep going. Well, I heard Tiger, he 14 fairways or 18 fairways 14 fairways in a round. Let me see if I can do that. And then you start pushing yourself, you start improving, and then you get good coaching, and then you get in that type of culture. To me, it's about the culture. And in my experience was kind of my hometown, that we got so many great people from my hometown. And to me, and that's how I like to look at it, that my brother, he started playing and he become pretty good, and then that was the image that everyone trying to follow. So everybody knew how much he practiced. He knew how much, what kind of the thing that he did when he was in Venezuela. And everybody trying to replicate the same thing. And then when you put the work and you put the intentions, that's how you improve.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it. Like relating back to like Tiger and everyone, and like they're all in that West Palm area, and they all like Jupiter, they all play together. Like you kind of see that model, like the Sea Island boys, like kind of seeing on the television now. They all hub together, like 4 of the top 100 players in the world competing day in, day out, practicing. You can only get better. It's kind of, yeah, it's like a recipe. You're all kind of trying to do the same thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It kind of creates that competitive edge. You know, you kind of, like, I've got a couple of people in Melbourne now. We have really competitive Tuesday games when we get out there on the links, and you know the quality is just up there because you need to be, or you'll be, you know, you don't want to lose to your mates. That's kind of that's the whole thing, you know.
Yeah. And for my experience, what I have noticed too is kind of the opposite side. That not a lot of people want to push themselves as much, and they want to get in this comfort zone that they feel good about their swing, and yeah, then they make this plateau that they're not pushing themselves hard enough to keep getting better, which is kind of the other side. If you like to get, you know, like you want to, you know, stretch your body and feel good about yourself, hit a good shot, and you feel good, and you start practicing, which is the other side, which again, I think hurts yourself as well if you don't. It's, to me, it's about kind of that competitiveness to keep, you know, striving for greatness.
Yeah, totally agree. Kev obviously teaches Patrick Reed still. I think they were kind of on and off for a bit. He's definitely such a competitor, proven performer. Couple of things you've picked up from, you know, being in close contact with Kev. Anything that you've noticed that he gets the most out of Patrick, or anything like that?
Yeah, well, Kevin's such a great role model. I think, again, I've been really lucky enough to know him. I know him since I got here in the States, and being around him, and how kind of he kind of do his things. Kind of he has his own way to do it, which is, to me, is awesome. And and the thing that I picked up from him was when there's a great story, by the way, which I haven't told this story that many times. When I become professional from my first year, before I start playing Q school, he called me, "Hey, Julio, we're gonna be training, so I want to see you at the golf course at around 11 o'clock. All right, Kevin, come on. I'm thinking, well, we're gonna go train and practice and do kind of getting ready for Q school, right? Yeah. So I show up to the course. I start warming up and everything. He's on balls, and he show up around 11 o'clock, and he said, "You ready?" Yes, let's do it. Come on, bring your bag. We're going to my office. So we go to his office. We put the club inside, and he said, "Yeah, come on, let's go to my car. We have a field trip." Field trip.
Where's he taking you?
Field trip. What's? Yeah. Well, okay. So he's my coach. I trust you. Okay, let's go, man. Perfect. So we start driving south on I-45, which you know.
Yeah.
And then we're driving by the basketball stadium, right?
Yeah, Rockets, baby.
And he tells, yeah, that's right. And he tells me, "Hey, have you been to a basketball game?" I'm thinking like, okay, field trip, maybe we're going to a basketball game. How cool is this? I mean, it doesn't get better than this. And I told him, yeah, I played basketball. I played basketball in high school, so I love basketball. And he said to me, Brady, "We should go one day, but not today."
Oh.
And we keep driving south, right? So I'm like, okay, what are we doing here?
Wait, we're going to Galveston.
And then we go by the baseball stadium. Again, the same thing. He asked me, "Hey, have you been to a baseball game?" I'm like, "Yeah, Venezuela, man. I played baseball growing up, and I love baseball." I mean, and he said to me again, "We should go one day, but not today." And then we keep driving south, right? And then we go by the NASA, right? Hey, and he asked me, "Hey, have you been to the NASA?" I'm like, "No, I haven't been to NASA. It would be cool." I'm thinking like field trip, NASA. We're gonna look the spaceship and everything.
Perfect. Let's go.
And it's gonna be cool there, right? And then he said, "No, we should go one day, but not today." And then we keep driving south. I'm like, "Where are we going, man?" And then we exit kind of South Houston. And then we make a turn and everything. I see a big skydiving sign.
Oh.
When I see it, I'm like, please, no. And he asked me, hey, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm like, no, I'm not sure. We're jumping out of a plane. What? We're jumping out of a plane. Dude, I couldn't stop laughing for like 10 minutes. I was laughing. I was so nervous. I started laughing for 10 minutes, right? So we go through, the security protocol and everything. I mean, the parachute and everything. We spent like 30 minutes doing that. And we get into the plane and we jump. And it was such a cool experience, right? And so we go to the ground, everything safe and sound. And he asked me, hey, what do you learn from the experience? I'm like, dude, it's so cool jumping on a plane. I mean, it's going to be great for my game and this. And yeah, it's cool. But what do you really learn? No, it was phenomenal, man. I mean, I want to do it again and this. And he said, well, the tour is like the airplane. So you got many things going on at the same time. You got a plane and everything trying to distract you. But you have to believe in fundamentals, which is the parachute. That's how you're going to get safe to the ground. So you got so many things going on. You're gonna have so many things going on at the tour. You got people, media, this and that, but you're gonna focus on the fundamentals, trying to trust them that they're gonna make you through that. So to me, that was kind of the best message that I got from Kevin Kirk. Like, trust you, believe your system. Beautiful. That's gonna be good enough to get you to the ground.
Right, beautifully said, Kevin Kirk, the great man. That's it sounds like a Kevin thing to do. Good on him. That's fantastic. I really enjoyed that. That was great. Man, imagine being a 15-year-old kid jumping out. I gotta get my parents' permission. I've already signed the slip. You're going on a field trip. We're out of the plane.
Looking back, he didn't have to make me jump out of the plane. He could have told me. I would have get it. But looking back, it was good. I'm just kidding.
That's a really good story. I love that. I really enjoyed that. That was fantastic. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, that's the difference. Kind of. Geez, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah. Let's end it at that. That was beautifully said. We'll give you the one question I promised you earlier, so you can ask me.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome.
We'll go from airplane to one question. We'll go from there.
Sure. My question to you, Brady, was how was you? I've been to Australia before, and it's such a complete different environment out there. It's the courses and the people are super nice. I love my time in Australia. It was such a cool place, and I would love to come back. And I got really good friends like you from Australia.
Absolutely.
And what was like it being in South America, going to a different country and different type of food, just the people, different language. How was that experience to you?
So Australia is a great country, and it's underrated how multicultural it is. I think people kind of overlook that. They kind of see Australia as just one culture, but like to the rest of the world sees it like that. But we are like super multicultural. There's like, we've got every different thing down here, and like it was so cool for me to go to all those different countries in South America. Something I've always like thought about and wanted to see, and all the different things, and great experience. I would definitely do it again. I always talk to Macca about doing like a 4-week little stint and kind of do little zigzags around. But I think it far outweighed everything I expected it to be. It was just, the quality of golf was just a lot higher than kind of, just because I just played in the US after coming down to South America, and you don't really converse much with some of the people because some of them only just speak Spanish, and and you kind of just, but you're like, well, your golf game is really good. Like, I always just remembering the Latin hands, you guys just chipped it. It's just, you had more spin than we did. I think it was just extra. Some of the grooves and some of the swings were a bit different, but you kind of had great rhythm. I always noticed that, and great putters. So yeah, you guys are very passionate, like as a whole. Like, you guys just love it, breathe, like super into it. And I just felt so fortunate that I was friends with a few few people down there, different countries like yourself, you know, I got such a good experience. Like, not just, I didn't stay with like a lot of Americans. I kind of got friends with like a Venezuelan guy from Panama and a couple of Colombians and Guatemalan and just Argentinian. Well, Macca's an Argentinian now, so we'll give him that.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah, so I got such a cool experience of like, you know, kind of you guys always forced me into like speaking Spanish at dinner, and kind of a lot of things still stick with me in my mind. I'm like, I don't practice it at all, but I'm like, I think I understand what they're saying. Like, I need to listen, yeah. But yeah, I just, awesome. I loved it. I really, really loved it. It just, I don't know, I couldn't recommend it more. I think that's why so many Australians go down there. Like, there's not enough golfers down there because it's just so far away from us. And I don't think it'll be the same moving forward, just with air travel. Like, our interstate borders aren't even open. It's nuts. But that's, eventually one day, but I would definitely not take it back. I learned a lot. It kind of shaped me as a person big time. And I had got a lot of good friends over the years, and it's nice to pick up the phone and give you a call. And I'm pretty sure I know where you're sitting at the Woodlands, and I'm like, oh, I remember that place. I remember the humidity being 95%.
No kidding, man.
Yeah, 95%.
No kidding.
Humidity, and the sun stays up till 10 o'clock and it's still 25 degrees Celsius outside. It's relentless. I don't miss the humidity. I know that for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to when we can catch up and, you know, have a
me too, man. We always can. You're more than welcome here in the Woodlands, and you got so many great friends out here. And
absolutely.
And we're waiting. We always kind of wonder when it's Brady coming back.
Well, oh geez, he's around the corner. Don't you worry. Me and Benny, we're always around the corner.
Right, I love it.
We'll be back sooner rather than later. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to have a chat today, Julio. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, dude. It's always nice talking to you, man. Have a good one, okay? We'll see you. Talk to you around.